about your art. I am where the magic starts.
Welcome to another episode of About Your Art podcast. We are here at the Chicago One of a Kind show, and I am talking to a lady who I have admired. She doesn't know this, but I've admired her for the past 2 or 3 years. I can't. How many? You've been doing this show for a while.
Oh yeah,
I always,
over 20
you're
years.
always in the same spot.
I am.
Yes, and because I've only been doing it with him for this is my 4th year.
Okay.
But every year I see you, and I'm like, wow, her stuff is beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a good show. Yeah.
Yes, good. So, and you said you've been doing it 20 years. So, introduce yourself and share a little bit about your art.
Okay. Hi, I am Takara. I design accessories and clothing. I actually was a I was an accessory designer first and became a clothing designer about 30 years ago.
Okay.
So a lot of my jewelry is made out of lucite. I do it recycled papers, and now we're doing recycled felts and things of that nature. These are all actually made of EVA, not felt, I'm sorry, it's foam.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our other necklaces here, I laser cut everything. And so this is my bloom collection this season, which are all the beautiful flowers. So the whole theme in the booth is bloom. So we have the flowers, we have the scarves and the necklaces, and I'm wearing like the leaves from a bloom. And so it's been really fun. A lot of customers have really enjoyed the collection. So basically, how I do it is I sort of create the design, because everything that you see, I actually created the design. I CAD it out, I put it in my computer, and then I laser cut it. And so even with the acrylic, we have the laser here. And a lot of my product is sold on artfulhome.com.
Okay.
If you go there, there's about 25 pieces on their website.
Wow.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
Thank
Takara.
you. Thank you so much.
What inspired you to become an artist, and how did your journey begin?
Oh gosh, so the inspiration, well, I have to tell you, I knew I was artistic as a child, but there was an older gentleman that showed me how to make one earring, and he said, I'm going to show you something and it's going to change your life. I think I was 17 or 18 years old, and it was a very cold winter day, and I went into this bead shop, not to shop, but to get warm. He didn't know that, but him and I were the only one in there. And he said, let me show you something. And he did. And I'm sure he's long gone now. And I thank him for giving me that one. He took a stem, he put a bead on it, he showed me how to turn it, and then I jumped back on the bus. And then within 2 months, I was living in California, and that's how I started the business, just from him showing me that. And then the business sort of expanded.
About to make me cry. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
I just feel
he
like
was the sweetest guy.
That was an angel.
It was an angel.
Oh,
it was like a winter storm. It was so cold. I didn't have gloves. I must have been 17 or 18.
Wow.
And he was like a little older man. He was like an old Jewish man. I remember that. And I often go past that building and just say thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I came back, he was gone. He was long gone. He was an older man. I'm sure he had passed away.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what I like to say to your listeners. Your angels are fluttering around. Don't expect them to look a certain way. This was an older man that was probably, honestly, he may have been like 75 years older than me. And he taught me the business. He didn't teach me the business, but he taught me one
skill.
Thing,
yeah.
one skill. And I developed it from here. Yeah, so.
And that's what they said, to have the faith of a mustard seed.
Yes.
That
it will show up.
Seed
that was a moment.
Seed. Yeah.
Yes, it really was.
You planted it, and he planted it in your fertile
Yes, exactly.
You were a child. And then
it was amazing.
It
really
did.
Bloom. Okay, Bloom. And you know what else I love too? By the time I got to California, because he taught me that one thing, I didn't know much, but I was able to buy seashells by the pound.
Wow. Okay.
So I went out to the ocean from this guy, and I bought all these seashells and would clean them. And I used that one technique he showed me, And then I started selling seashell earrings. Yes, and that's how it all started. And then I discovered I could buy beads, and it just went on. It's been
Wow.
amazing. It's been a journey. I've had a lot of great things in my career. I've been in movies, not me per se, but
But your work.
some of my work has been in movies. I'm in like 12 museums right now.
Oh my God.
Catalog houses, galleries.
Tell me two of the museums you're in that
I'm
the
in the
people
Museum
can.
of Contemporary Art. I'm in the Philadelphia Museum of Art,
Uh-huh.
and I soon will be in the museum. God, they're all over. I have one in Louisville, the
Okay.
African American Museum in Baltimore, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they find me through an account called fair.com, which you can buy my things wholesale, but
Okay.
you have to be a store owner.
How would you describe your artistic style overall and what influences your work?
Overall, I would say my style is sort of free flowing, sort of creative, kind of hobo, not hobo, but boho.
I was about to say hobo is
Not
not what we're going
hobo,
for.
but
That's
boho.
not what this looks
Yeah,
like.
like really funky and
Yes.
organic. I would say my
Okay.
shapes are organic, but one of the good things that I love is that some of my accessories are event driven. So if
Mm.
there's a major event going on in the community or in our country, I generally create a collection for it. Especially during the election, I had
Yeah.
created an entire collection for Kamala. And there was a time where we had an event over the summer with the white chair. I created a whole collection of that. There's
Mm-hmm.
just all kinds of collections I create depending on the event. Joy, who was just terminated from her job at
Joy
MS.
Behar?
Yeah, not Joy. No, Joy is on MSNBC.
Oh
She
wow.
was
Okay.
terminated, so I did a Joy pin
Okay.
just to support her. So
Okay.
yeah, so I try to stick
Wow.
very close to what's going on
I love
in the current
that.
events right
Current
now.
events
Yeah.
are that's how history is made.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you're recording history when you cover the
Absolutely.
current events.
I
Yeah.
actually have a pin that we're wearing because we are targeting certain companies, and it's
Mm-hmm.
called it's a red pin with a stripe going through.
Okay.
So we are also now supporting any kind of store that we are I don't want to say target, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And then some of the clothes that I have here also, I
Mm-hmm.
take these beautiful pashminas and I
Yeah.
create, that's a pashmina, actually two pashminas, and I
Wow.
create clothing from the pashmina.
I
I
love
work with a
it.
lot of natural fibers. I'm wearing linen. I'm known for my
I
very
love
good
your
linens
this
from
linen
Lithuania.
outfit that you're wearing.
Yeah, oh, thank you. I love a
Get
whole, yes,
into
thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Ah,
Yeah, these
I
are
want to
my
get my mom one of these outfits.
Okay,
She would love
this is
this.
my harem pant, and this blouse here is actually named after Lisa Bonet
I love
because
Lisa.
she had the boho look, right?
Yes, she
So
did.
this is her. This is the homage to her, and a lot of my clothes are homage to, like, say, I have a Josephine Baker. There's Ella Fitzgerald in here, so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my clothes are named after some of our greats.
Yes.
Yes, and so it's really cool. I have Josephine Baker coat, so it's just fun. I like to just kind of keep things, and while I'm also creating clothing, I'm also educating the consumer.
Yes.
Yes,
You need that.
yeah, there was one situation this summer. I made a necklace with all these red dots on it, and
Mm-hmm.
each time someone purchased it, I had to give them the story because back in the South and during
Jim
um,
Crow?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all of the dishes and silverware and anything that was used for the African American family had red dots on the back of it,
Wow.
under the bowls, under the plates, and they weren't allowed to share that cutlery or dishware with the white
Disgusting.
counterparts.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, and
I hate
so
that.
I created a red dot necklace,
Yes.
and that's on my website as well. So it's another form of art and education.
And also transmutation.
Yes,
You know, something
absolutely.
that they use to degrade us and to make us feel less than or
Yes,
different.
we're
You're
created into a
using it
beautiful art.
to yes to
Yes,
create to bring beauty into the world when they
exactly.
were doing something so ugly.
Yes,
So
exactly. So but the thing
I
is,
love
it's
that.
really it's up to us to reclaim that.
Yes,
You
reclaiming
know,
my time.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
really, it's so true because I
Yeah.
remember at a time that everybody was saying that like a certain star was not attractive because she had dark skin
Yeah.
or whatever, and
And
now Yeah, we have to
Crazy.
reclaim that. We know
Yeah.
what our beauty is, and we
Exactly.
cannot compare it to
And
the.
we have to validate ourselves. We can't keep expecting
Absolutely.
other people to validate
Yes,
us
and so that's
because
what
we'll
we
be
do.
waiting forever.
Yeah. So let's take our history back.
Yes.
Let's recreate it. Let's
Yes.
give it a different meaning.
Yes.
Let's wear it with
And let's go
pride.
where we're celebrated.
Exactly. Not
Mhm.
tolerated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you inspired me so much when I saw you here because, you know, as a young Black woman who is entering this field, oh, I'm about to start crying again, honey. Woo, child.
It's so
um, but you know, I learned so much from my husband who's white and older than me, and he's in these spaces and he's inspiring, but there's just something else about seeing somebody who looks like me doing it, you know,
Oh yeah,
with all the obstacles that I know that we have to overcome. And he
and
has his
being
own obstacles,
present.
of course, but
Yeah,
you
but
know, it's
we have to
different.
be present in those spaces
Yes,
as
to
well.
be an
And
example.
once you get in there, you have to leave the door cracked.
Yes.
You really do. You can't say I made it. You have to think, okay, I'm in here. Like some of the artisans that are up here at the One of a Kind show, I invited them to apply because honestly, I've been doing this show almost 25 years. I
Yeah.
was probably one of two Black designers.
Yeah.
I really
I
was.
believe it.
Yeah,
I believe
I
it.
was a huge standout. People loved me and everything, but there weren't a lot of other artisans that looked like me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm just so when I see like Dosa,
Yeah.
she does skincare.
Yes.
When I see them, like I talk to her and she just inspired me so much and it's you know, I'm just so glad that times are changing.
Yes, they
and
really
that
are.
there are people like y'all that are leaving the door cracked for girls like me or women like
Absolutely.
me.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Because we're going to retire out of our positions, and you
Mhm.
guys, we have to educate you and help you understand what the position that you're about to feel.
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to take it to another whole level. Of
Yeah,
course, like
that's what
right
we
now,
do.
I was like, oh, I need someone to take pictures of my studio.
Yeah.
To document the studio.
Yes.
So you guys are younger than us, and you're coming along, and you're helping us document our history.
You know that it's so funny that you say that. So now, okay, so the podcast show is called About Your Art. It's going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
Like I was telling you, but these are just short snippets, right, at the shows because I want people to see the booths and all that stuff. But I had an interview at the Baltimore show, and the lady that I interviewed gave me this great idea to where I can do interviews in your studio.
Oh yeah.
And have a more like dedicated, like maybe like a 30-minute long
That would be
walk
so
through
incredible.
video. And
Yeah.
so that's gonna come later on because I
Yeah.
got to figure this part out first.
No, you're doing a
But
great
it's gonna be
job.
called like more about your art
Of
or
course.
something like that. I'm
The
still trying
behind
to
the
figure out
scenes,
the
of how we
yeah.
create things. And there's a lot of history in my studio that I don't bring out to the public. I was one of the first African American women on the cover of Chicago Cranes magazine.
Wow.
And that was in the late 80s or early 90s, I believe.
Oh my
And so a
God.
lot of that stuff is in my studio.
Well, listen, I'm coming back in June, and we have a
Okay.
week, a few days in between.
Okay, super.
After the podcast, we'll
Please
talk
come by.
about that, about setting up
Absolutely.
something because I
Oh,
would love
yeah.
to do that. That would just be so. I'm just so excited. Oh, this is so great. Oh,
Yes, well, you're absolutely invited.
oh,
Yes,
yay.
absolutely.
Okay, so you guys, I'm going. Where the show's about to start in 3 minutes, and I
Okay.
said I was going to try to get another interview. I don't know.
Okay.
But so I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So lastly, I want to ask you, since we are gonna have more conversation
Okay.
later on,
Sure.
so I'll ask you deeper questions in the future. But for right now, so if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self about the journey of making art your business,
Wow.
what would it be?
You're enough.
Mm.
No, when you're in the studio alone, you don't feel like you're enough. You feel like people don't really get what you're doing. You feel like you're so far off the grid. And this is another piece of advice I like to give our community, that when you see an artisan that's doing something that is not sort of like, well known in our community,
Mm-hmm.
that you need to support that identification of that artisan, because everybody's not going to design with mud cloth. Everyone's not going to also use African beads or things of that nature. And we have to begin to expand our thought on the Black artists.
Yes.
Because look at Basquiat,
Yes,
he
I'm
was,
telling you.
yeah, I mean, look, years later, you can't buy his artwork,
It's
but we have to
amazing.
learn to celebrate one another. I
Yes,
feel like I have some Black customers that walk by and they just don't get me.
they don't.
They don't
And
get my jewelry. But I go, if you just stop and hear the story behind the collection, you would you would love it. You know,
yes,
so that's my one advice.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. Oh my gosh, that
yeah,
is great advice
yeah.
because
It
it's
really
true
is.
that we can be pretty narrow-minded
We
as a
are.
community, and
Yeah.
like with the whole thing right now about you know, the lack of black men in college and everything like that. Like there's a shift going on in our community, and we have to pour into our nerds. We have to pour into our all the different kinds of ways that we show up in this world because black people are not a monolith.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you ask that question, you got to continue to ask why like 5 or 6 times.
Yes,
You
to get
can't
to the
just say
root.
this is the answer. You say, okay,
Hmm.
but why?
But why?
If you just ask why 6 times, someone wrote a book about that.
Yes.
Ask why six
Six
is 5 or 6 times,
times.
and by the time you get to the last why, you'll have your true answer.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, that is so deep. Oh, that's
Okay.
a great way to end it. So tell the people where can they find
Okay,
you. We
super.
already said earlier
Okay.
that it could be on that website, but tell them where else they can find
So
you.
I have a website. It's called shoptakara.com, and Takara is spelled Takara. And then also on Instagram under Takara Designs with an S. And Facebook. You guys are probably too young, but I have a really good Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And that is actually under my name. It's Takara Designs and Takara Bethel Goodale. That's how you can find me.
Yay! Thank you so much, Miss
Okay.
Takara.
All right.
You have been just a light in my life right now. So thank you. So
Thank you. You're so sweet. I love your temperament.
Thanks. Bye.
Where about your heart? Hey, where the magic starts.